and so there are 4 colors. They are not unusual in terms of the actual color. This one is slightly more sort of burgundy brown. Those is more of a taupe sort of other way around, brown, and this one is a lighter sort of medium color. So those are the swatches. I need to do swatches to make sure that we've got a whole picture of, and I probably will look like this on my wrist. So as you see, the first one, I never know which way to show it. The first one is very shimmery, so that one, and the darkest is quite matte. So we're going to use this to create our look for hooded eyes. So what we do, we obviously use primer first of all, because for any foundation you use, primer is a key, because this will keep your foundation together, not foundation, your eyeshadows together, and it will give a little grip. So as I mentioned before, my problem with this, it's very good primer for eyes, MAC, but my problem with it is it's kind of shimmery all the way. So what we don't need to worry about, if we put shimmer on the very sort of top lid of the eye, which is just right where, for hooded eyes especially. So whatever this hood, let's just make hooded eyes like that. So that's what it is. This bit we need to push in, so it goes away from us. Anything which is in light, which brings out, so it comes closer. So we need to make this sort of relief in using colors, dark and light. So right, keep calling it foundation. Primer. Primer is done. So by using application brush, I will use lighter shade on the actual lid. Don't worry about using, if it's shimmery, it's fine. It will bring the first part of the eye in, and we hide all the hooded bits. We hide them in with the darker shades. So that's first step. I also would do is for dark circles, and because it's CC by Max Factor, I use in the corner of the eye to make it lighter. Or you can use eyeshadows. You can use it's up to you what you use. Any light, even concealer, light eyeshadow. Normally you find in any neutral palette you would find it. Okay, and don't forget, this is review as well as we create eyeshadow for hooded eyes. But I needed to mention those lovely little things. I try not to use sponges. They don't give you a result that you would normally want. This one I find quite useful for contouring the line, if you want to have a line there like that. This one is a lovely little brush. It's actually soft, really. I'm not sure if it's natural or not, but it's very, very soft. And there's this just standard sponge applicator, which I don't use. Okay, so they come with a set. So what I need to do next, I'm going to use this brown sort of taupe color by using another brush. The key is to use the brushes you use for eyeshadows are not blending brushes. So blending brush, I will share with you. I bought this. It's absolutely fantastic. £7.50 I think in Boots. Eco. I've thrown away the packaging, but have a look in Boots. I was looking for specifically brush very similar to either Charlotte Tilbury, which is £21, or Wayne Goss, which is £25, or Elizabeth Arden, which they don't sell. And this one is exactly like this. That superb brush, £7.50 in Boots, in eye brushes section. Anyway, I keep distracting myself because I'm so excited. I want to share with you so many things. Okay, so using this color, we are putting now you can see where your, I can do hooded eyes when I want to. So using, we need to create a crease. Put that into your crease. This will go all over, in and out. So you can see what we're doing. But the key is for hooded eye, and the only difference between hooded eye and normal eye, what you do for hooded eyes, let's just say this is there. So your crease is kind of hidden inside. So what you need to do is to put this straight and use the dark color on the skin, which is hanging. So that's the way. And make it just a tiny, tiny bit above actual crease. So your eye, not up to the very eyebrows, and not too down. So that is your secret. Okay? And do the same on the other eye. So that's a base kind of neutral color. We haven't played with colors yet, and we probably won't need to, because, you know, really, occasionally we do with different interesting eyeshadows as we go out, on holidays particularly. I've gone absolutely mad doing this. But for day to day, especially if you're over 50, you don't want to make mad looks with stupid colors like Dame Edna. You don't really want to do that. So it goes all around in the crease, into the, a little bit closer now. I'm doing it a tiny little bit closer to the eye. I think this will bring you my eyes even better. Because if you just have everything just light here, it's very flat. So so again, I'm using this color, which is sort of the darker of the two neutral ones. And again, where your skin is hanging down a bit, so you go just above that line and you make it straight. And here, in and out. So important thing to do is to bring eyes a little bit, make them more awake and give that shape, is not to bring it close down here or make it too high. So what we do, you can use tissue easily for that. Do it like that. And this is basically your line. So between end of your eye and end of your brow, maybe a little bit, just a little bit down. So this is how you are. Same here. So it just literally goes along side your eye line, like this. What I would also do, so you can see it kind of gave us more depth into the eye, and even if I had severe hoods, you wouldn't notice it, because now you've got a little bit of, you've got that. You use shadow and light, basically shade and light. It's like using a pencil and graphics, where they don't use color, they just use that, they play with the shade to make things, give it 3D effect. So the next I would use I'm going to use that brush, like a pencil brush. This is the old one, and I'm going to dip into the darkest shade here, and this is where I want to bring a little bit of right into the very corner, very root of my eyelashes. So almost using this like eyeliner. For hooded eyes is no point doing eyeliner because it's only going to close the only bit you have you can show. You need to use it in light, and the way to keep it light is not to have eyeliners, black eyeliners, because that will close your eye completely. So here, right from underneath even, build up that black sort of roots of your eyelashes, even if they're not light. I mean, even if they're not black. So you can see it's getting a little bit more intense without actually using that very precious, that little line I have for with hooded eyes. You would have very little coverage there. So that's what you need to maintain. Keep it open, keep it light. Okay, so that's that. Do the same here, just tap it into that. Into the, literally where your eyelashes grow. I haven't got the line here, but I have a little bit of more intensity. You know, they all do from underneath, and I can't do it. My eyes start watering. I never do line under the, I don't know, I can't do it. I do, though, the bottom waterline. So that's for now. Then, using the same color, by using different brush, where is it? I'm gonna use this. So I want to bring a little bit of more volume to the corner of my eye. So I'm using this a little bit around the middle, up to the middle. And into my crease. It depends on how intense you want. You can build it up. You can leave it light version. But I would use this just to create a little bit more. And it completely distract from any hoods you may have, no matter how big or small. So if you bring this into right about the middle of your eye, halfway through, so light stays in the inner part of the eye. Okay. And I bring it up down here. Then I use, so don't worry, I'm going to blend it all. It's not going to look like this. And then by using the same shade, I'm going to create a line here, which is not, you know, I stopped using pencils, almost stopped. I like Gucci pencils and Christian Dior, but they need to be smudged. I don't use sharp lines anymore. I think with age, it doesn't give us any credit, you know. Doesn't do us any favor. So once you've done this, now you can see we've got that combination of dark and light. The dark line underneath makes eyes a little bit bigger. I do use pencil for waterline, but let me blend. By the way, this brush is lovely as well. It's really good mini version of blending brush, so I'm going to use it for now. And using blender brush, you mix this, you sort of blend it, whichever technique you use, backwards and forwards, like screen wipers, or circle motions. Depends on the brush. I like both, but this brush I promise to show you, the one I bought in Boots yesterday, is quite large blending brush. But you know what? I used it yesterday. Just tried and it's so beautiful. It gives no borders at all. I mean, the whole it looks like a natural shade. I really like that, and it's natural as well, I think, anyway. So there we go. So this is your normal hooded eye. Okay, the same from here. What I really must emphasize with any quality eyeshadows, and Tom Ford, of course, you have no problem blending. It's absolutely, there is no smears, nothing. You build up as much as you want. You will never ever have any problem blending. Quality is there. It's lovely. So I still like doing a tiny little bit of darker there, which I use. You can use it wet or dry. For wet, obviously, it's going to be more intense. So this will go, because I haven't got hooded eyes, I kind of cheat there. I like that little bit of there. But with hooded eyes, do not put thick black line, because you will close up your eye completely. You'll have a hood hanging down, and then you've got this black line. You have to do it in reverse order. Whatever is hooded or potentially is hooded, it needs to be in a darker shade to go inside, so your eye looks like it's got, you know, all that sort of structure. And the actual eyelid, which is seen when you like this, then that line that you need to maintain. So that white line is actually in light color, and this is what brings your eyes forward. So I do use a little bit of that. But what I also do, I need to smudge this a little bit, make it sort of softer. You know, I think softer eyes, they're sophisticated. Unless you have absolutely perfect face with perfect skin, and you're probably like 18 years old, then you might be okay with all the dark liners, liquid liners. I think I've passed that stage now. Now I have to find my... Always good to use those on eBay for pennies, literally for pennies. Double-ended. That's my friend number one for any mistakes. And also, when eyeshadows dust a bit on you. So this is my makeup for hooded eyes, and of course I'll build up mascara on the top, which I won't use your time on. Also, I'm going to do another review in a minute. I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to do a quick review on Yves Saint Laurent Mona in color number 1, called Paris. Superb, absolutely lovely thing. So I'll see you in a minute. If you have any questions, drop me a line, and please just remember one thing for hooded eyes is whatever is hooded goes in darker shade, but you must blend. It shouldn't be any sort of dark lines or any borders which are sort of very sharp borders. So this is my look. I see you soon.